Hey guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin, and today we're unboxing the Acer TravelMate P614-52-G2-57MS. Okay, so it's not a name that exactly rolls off the tongue, but this is a business laptop, and business laptops don't have those fancy consumer features like simple names and flashy boxes, Obviously, this box, it's a regular cardboard box. That's standard for a business laptop because in businesses, IT is handing these out to the user. So the person using the laptop never even gets to see the box most of the time. And these are also easier to stack and stuff. So a couple things about this. Just over 2.5 pounds at 2.57 pounds. And so that's pretty impressive right off the bat. And it costs just over $1,000 at $1,049, which is pretty impressive. So it's light. Just over half an inch thick, 0.65 inches. Intel Comet Lake. This one has an i5, 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage. So that's what you're getting at that $1,049 price point. And of course, you can jack up the specs from there and you can pay more for those specs. But at that price, you get a Core i5 10210U, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gig SSD, and I don't know if there's vPro options, but this one does not have vPro. Intel just announced Comet Lake vPro, which is what you're going to see in business laptops soon. Many of them have been announced already. But that Core i5 would be the 10310U. But this is the 10210U, so there it is. Now, let's get this open. Like I said, simple business laptop style box. No surprise there. And we will open this up. So yeah, standard components in the box here. And you can pull out the laptop. It's covered, which is always nice. A little bit better unveiling here. So let's just take a look. So standard black look, and we'll get back to the materials shortly. But over here we have our charger. It's a pin charger, which is a real shame. And it's something that I am never going to use because I do believe that I can charge through USB Type-C. But as I do with any laptop that comes with a pin or barrel charger or whatever, I will test out charging USB with USB Type-C before I finish this video. I gotta say, as far as laptops go, that is the biggest deal breaker for me, unless there's a good excuse for it. Like if it's a powerful machine that can't charge through USB-C, that makes sense. Dedicated graphics, whatever. But if that charger is less than 100 watts, it better be USB-C or at least support the USB-C chargers that I have. So this is actually, I was completely wrong. It's a magnesium alloy chassis, which is interesting to me because I thought it was aluminum, which is great news because if it feels like aluminum, that's really good for magnesium. Magnesium tends to feel like plastic, so this feels a lot more premium than your typical magnesium alloy laptop. So aluminum is a really heavy material, and I was about to commend them for making an aluminum laptop at 2.5 pounds, but I don't have to because it is a magnesium alloy laptop, which is really impressive. All right, so we can take a look at this device here, and of course we can see right here that it is in fact charging, and I have it plugged into the USB Type-C port. Again, that is something that is the first thing that I check because that, again, to me is a deal breaker. Okay, over here we have a Thunderbolt 3 port, USB Type-A, HDMI 2.0, which is worth noting because it's way better than HDMI 1.4, which oddly still ships on some laptops for some reason. So HDMI 2.0 will get you 4K at higher frame rates, and you're good to go with HDMI 2.0. Over on this side, we're going to find Ethernet. No, yes. With the drop jaw hinge over there. Another USB Type-A port. Again, that's USB 3.1 Gen 1 for 5 gigabits per second data transfer speeds. Both of them are, or USB 3.0, or whatever you want to call it. Then over here we have our micro SD slot. There is optional cellular, and I don't see a nano SIM slot, which is interesting. Just I only say it's interesting because usually those things exist on PCs, even if you don't get the cellular model, which I don't believe this is the cellular model, sadly enough. Although, considering that it's only 1049, I'm not surprised it's not the cellular model. And then, of course, we have our full HD 14-inch screen over here. We have a privacy guard on the camera, which is right here. We can just flip that, and then we have privacy, and no one can look through our camera. There's no need to put a piece of tape over it. The good news about that privacy guard, kind of, is that there's actually no IR cameras, so it's not blocking your facial recognition from working. There is a fingerprint sensor, which I believe, yes, is in the power button, which is pretty cool. It's always the best place for a fingerprint sensor, and we're gonna set that up. Hopefully, it scans your fingerprint as you boot it up, which will be really nice. I hate having to scan it again after I boot up. So the bad thing about this PC is that even though it's a business PC, there's a ton of bloatware on it, and that's something that there's Dropbox. That's something that Acer is not good at. There is lots and lots of bloatware. We can see if we open up the start menu here, Acer Collection S, and if we go in here, by the way, that's just a collection of more apps that Acer wants you to download. Amazon, Booking.com, Candy Crush Friends is part of Windows 10, sadly enough. Evernote, and this is where it starts to bother me. We have Evernote, we have Firefox, Norton Security. By the way, I don't care for any pre-installed AV software. Most other companies use McAfee, but I've never seen other companies pre-install not only this much third-party software, but even just third-party AV software on a business laptop. But Acer does this on all of its machines, even premium. Like it's not even about cutting costs because or making up costs, just because they do it even on premium PCs where there's higher profit margins. Yeah, here's that Acer Collection S. And no, we don't want any of that stuff. So that's really an issue, especially for business PCs. But the reason I said that Evernote and Firefox and Norton are real pain points for me is just because they compete with stuff that comes with the OS. So this was a problem on Android for a while, where you would get the Gmail app, and then you would have another email app that came from some other whoever made the phone, and it's the same deal here. So you have Evernote, and then you have OneNote. You have Firefox, and you have Microsoft Edge, which is under M, not E. You have Norton Security, but you also have Windows Defender, and so that is by definition bloatware. People can go out there and get this stuff if they want it. So here's the deal. I usually like Acer PCs, and they never really score the highest because I have to knock off points for all that bloatware. There's no two ways about it. That is bad. Everybody knows it's bad. I know people from Acer that know it's bad. But other than that, they're great PCs. So all you got to do is, when you buy the PC, you got to spend a half hour on installing stuff. And I got to spend a few minutes on every single video I make about an Acer product talking about this stuff, which I don't like to do. I don't like to have to do, but it is what it is. Because otherwise, once you get rid of that stuff, this is going to be a pretty good computer. Fingerprint sensor and the power button. Pretty decent keyboard that I've used so far. Not the narrowest bezels in the world, but that's okay considering the price point, because you do get a Core i5 pretty standard setup, right? Core i5, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage. It's super light, so it's easy to carry around all day if you're on the road. It's a solid machine overall. Another thing I didn't point out, we do have speakers above the keyboard here, so hopefully we'll get pretty good audio quality from here. I haven't always been impressed with the audio quality in the speakers. By the way, I just tried it. And yes, it does scan your fingerprint when you press the power button. So you press the button, it boots up, it logs you in. Once it, with Dell's PCs, Dell's the only one that still does this. They think it's a security issue because you might walk away from your PC after you press the button. But with Dell's PCs, you press the button, it boots up, and then on the lock screen, you have to hold your finger on the button again, which is annoying because it's unnecessary, or it should be unnecessary. So, so that just signs you in, and like this is going to be a pretty good computer. It has the ports you need, has a solid 14-inch 1080p display, which I always like. Acer's anti-glare displays, they're quite nice. They tend to be they tend to have fairly vibrant colors while still being a lot of anti-glares tend to look washed out, and I haven't found that to be the case with Acer's screens. So like, it's going to be a pretty great PC. So I'll have a review on it in a couple weeks, and stay tuned for that. I'm Rich O'Neill, and have a great night.